Hey, say, man, I want to kick it with you, man. Hey, you know what I'm talking about? Hey, man, look, where I'm from in Alabama, kicking it is a thing. It is what it is. I want to kick it with you, man. And we be up under each other clothing and stuff. Hold on, man. You getting crazy. You getting crazy. Look, man, I said I want to kick it with you. Either we gonna kick it or I'm gonna have to do something to you. It is what it is, man. What up, what up, what up? We are back. Who am I? Jersey Street Corner, and this is the Prison Talk Show, people. So let's get into it. Alright, now today I got a real crazy story for you. This story is about a guy who went to visit some family, went on vacation pretty much, ended up getting cased up and locked up out of state. He's locked up with the goons. Now, I know y'all like, so what? That happens all the time. Yeah, but he got a lengthy, sentence. He got over 5 years. That's a long time to be out of state. Unless you're in the feds or something and your family is willing to take those long rides every time they switch you from prison to prison. Now, this guy's name was Wilbur. And Wilbur, Will for short, was from Alabama. But it's really sad that he's so far from home. But what they say, a criminal gonna be a criminal even on vacation, right? If not, you probably not a real nigga. So anyway, the only reason I even know this dude is because his tattoos. He got bees up and red flames and fives all over and a whole mess of gang tattoos all over. So either he blood or he perpetrating. Now, I told y'all I can't get in the middle of gang politics, so I can't check nobody. So I let my cuz and all the bloods know is a new bro in the pod. Now, to them, it's serious. Ain't no time to waste. The more soldiers, the better. But they got to check them in. And that could take up to 3 days. So, till you get verified, side note, y'all, side note. If you in prison and someone just takes your word for it and lets you start rocking with the set before you get street verified, that's cap. So, until you verified, they just watch you, see how you move it. Do we beat his chest like a gorilla? Do we act like a killer? Who brought him home? Is he set tripping? Now, Wilbur already settled into his cell. He in a cell with a white dude named Adam. Now, Adam been doing time. He done had plenty of new inmates come and cell up with him and get transferred out or moved to this and that. But he's never had an issue with any of the inmates they put in the cell with him. Normally, it's neutrons. Adams never encountered a gang member in the cell with him. So, the minute Wilbur walks through that cell door and he looks at Adam, Adam is, chilling on the bottom bunk, watching TV. He look at him, and Adam already knew from all of the tattoos and just the way this guy looks. He looks like a gorilla. He's huge. Yeah, Wilbur ain't small. He one of them cornbread eating niggas. Wilbur about 250 at least, easy. 6 foot. Yeah, Wilbur ain't small. He looked at him, he said, "Hey, listen, they told me I was in this cell." So Adam just looked up at him and said, all right, and went back to looking at his TV. Wilbur, real quick, "Hey man, I don't think you heard me. They told me I was in this cell." not us. I was in this cell. And right now you in my bed. And he like, wait a minute, man. Wait a minute, man. I've been here for the last 18 months. This is my bunk. I've been on the bottom bunk for the last 18 months. Well, things change. Wilbur told him, get up on that top bunk or else. And dude like, hey, listen, man, I don't want any problems, man. If you don't want any problems, get on that top bunk now. Else we're going to have to fight for it. And dude like, all right, man, all right, damn. And he start moving the stuff. And we'll be like, hey, leave the TV down there too. Don't even trip. And dude like, what? And Wilbur flinched at him real quick like, I said leave the TV. You already pissing me off. And dude backed up real quick, put his hands up like he was about to get hit. Like, all right. Got his ass up in that top bunk. Now he up there reading a book or something because he can't watch his TV no more. Wilbur done snatched that from the rip. So, like I told y'all, Bloods was tailing him, seeing how he moved. And they peeped in on that cell, and they knew what it was. They knew Wilbur was in that cell, and he had the bottom bunk. And all things G, the Bloods told the COs to put Wilbur in that cell to see if he was going to buck on Adam or not. Because that's what he was supposed to do. He was supposed to assert his dominance. If he a blood. So, excuse me. They looked in the cell and they saw him chilling out watching the TV on the bottom bunk. And they whispering, they're like, hey, blood, you gotta see this, blood. He done took the bottom bunk and the dude TV. He might be official, man. You make them phone calls yet? And they're like, yeah, I'm just waiting on dudes to get back to me, man. Damn, that's cold. He took his bed and his TV. So they all creep off, go about their business, act like nothing going on. Now, next day at mess hall, it's breakfast time, y'all. And at this point in time, Wilbur has still not, I guess you want to say the word is, introduced himself or met, however it goes down, the Bloods. He hasn't asked anybody any questions because I guess pretty much he hasn't bumped into anybody that he thinks would have any answers like that. Like his cellmate definitely wouldn't know who to send him to talk to. So he figured mess hall would be a good spot. He can notice the tables. You know, Wilbur done been down before where he from, in Alabama. And that leads a whole different part of this story too. Wilbur, let's just go, y'all. Let's just go. I gotta stop doing that to y'all. Now, Wilbur, he go in the mess hall and he get his tray. And from the rip, he looking at the trays and he like, yo, these joints are small, man. These joints are small. And he telling the dude behind the counter like, yo, give me another scoop, man. I need another scoop. And dude like, keep moving, man. That's all it is. And he looked at him. He gave him this look. Now, remind you, I told you how big Wilbur is. He gave that dude behind the counter a look. He found himself scooping that goulash so fast. He gave him like that Punisher stare of penitence. Like he about to, ooh, man, he gonna do something to you. You don't give him that food, boy. Now, Bloods is watching all of this. And they just want to see him, honestly, they want to see him go through the jail, the prison, and act like he don't care about nothing and he ain't scared of nothing. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to him, whether they with him or not. So, the calls come back, And yeah, his set is official, and they put in mad work. But beware of his set. Now, I'm not going to mention the set. There's a set down there in Alabama. I'm not going to mention the set. But beware of this set, because let's just say they believe all the regular guidelines, plus they added a few chapters in there, if you know what I mean. So, y'all might not think that's important. But think about it like this, y'all. What if they added chapters to the Bible? Out of nowhere. I know y'all like, well, it is extra chapters to the Bible. They just don't put them in there. Nah, I'm not talking about them, Book of Enoch and all that stuff. Nah. Hypothetically, King James Version of the Bible, what if they decided to add extra chapters? Out of nowhere, right now, 2026. Just add an extra 1 or 2 chapters stating some wild, crazy shit. How would people take it? How would people take it? Well, that's what the phone calls led to. They said, yeah, they're official, but trust and believe he on a different timing. He not like y'all. So whether or not y'all embrace him and y'all set is up to y'all and what y'all do, but just know that he different. Now the Blood's still following Wilbur around the pod. He don't even realize it because he hasn't even taken the time to even look for another Blood to find out if there are other Bloods on the pod in the set. Nah. He's got other things on his mind. From what I'm told, everybody saw him talking to all the fiends. And, so we thinking, maybe Wilbur got a drug problem or something. Maybe it's something up with him. And mind you, different sets don't have to connect. Just because you Blood don't mean this set and that set have to link up. They can and they should. Whether they will is another story. Beef is beef. And sometimes it's rare. Sometimes it's well cooked. You never know what you're going to get. It's a mix-up. Now, Wilbur, he's trying to get information out of these fiends. He's not on drugs. He needs information. But the information that he asks, well, excuse me, y'all. Let's just say, not only is he not embarrassed to ask the questions he starts asking, because he starts getting desperate and asking any and everyone that crosses his path until he finally finds an answer. He asks the fiends, hey man, where the boys at? Ain't no boys on this pod? Where the boys at? And they all looking at him like, hey man, hey, I don't know, man. I don't know. This the wrong pod for that, man. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know, man. And you're like, all right, whatever, man, whatever. Get out of here. I ain't got nothing for you, man. Get out of here, man. I'm like, oh man, that's messed up, man. You said if I told you what you need to know, you was gonna hit me off with a little something. You ain't tell me nothing. You think I don't know nothing to tell you. I don't mess with no boys. You're like, well, you ain't no good to me then. Get on. Yo. Alright, man. You damn boy lover. What? I ain't say nothing, man. I ain't say nothing. The fiend dude scrambled off. Now, there's people watching all of this. And I told you this dude is like 6 foot something, 250 or 60 pounds, whatever. He's huge. And people watching this whole ordeal go down. And they're like, did he just say what I think he said? And then that's when the Bloods, stepped up. and they approached him and they said, "Hey, blood, what that be like?" And then, he turned around and addressed them, properly. And, he went in to link up, to go ahead and throw it up together. They did that, but then they backed up and like, "Hey, so what's all that boy talk you keep talking about, though, cut? Well, what's all that boy talk, bud?" He like, "Yeah, man, I'm looking for the boys. Y'all ain't got no boys here?" And like, "Well, hey, you blood, right?" And you're like, "Yeah, you blood, right? Y'all don't get down like that?" And you're like, "What are you talking about?" "Mark told me we was just kicking it, man. He told me it was normal for another man to have his hand and himself up under your clothes. It is just kicking it, man. That's just what we do. In Alabama, we just kick it. I tried it once. I couldn't stand it. But we was kicking it." "Oh, y'all niggas up north don't got the extra 3 chapters? Oh, man. I'm going to have to break it down for you." But that's going to be another video, y'all. But let's just say the second chapter in Alabama states that even if you are a gang member and you have done more than 5 years consecutive, you are allowed to play with boys. Yep, y'all heard me right. It's a set that believes that if you have done over 5 years in prison, that means you are a hardened gangster and can't nothing fade you. You are allowed to sleep with boys. And they're like, "What? Where the hell did you learn that, man? What chapters, man? 3 chapters? What the hell is you talking about, man? Nah, man. Nah, is this what dude was talking about? Is this what he meant? Y'all different?" And like, "Hey, man, look, you need to just embrace it, man. How long you been down? If you at 4 years, you only got 1 year left and you can get down." You're like, "Man, I don't want to get down." He's like, "Look, man, I know. Y'all on some real nigga shit. I get it. But listen, when I was locked up down in Alabama, I was locked up with a dude named Mark. And the dude, Mark, he told me it ain't nothing but a little grease in your fingernails. That's what he called it. You know how they say, a little dirt under the door? Nah, Mark says a little grease under your fingernails. It ain't nothing. You don't think about it the next day. You don't think about it the hour after you do it. Straight like that. And we gangsters for that." And they looking at dude in amazed disbelief. "What the hell is you talking about, dude? You is just a glorified booty bandit. What the hell is you talking about? No, man. No, you cannot ride with our set. Hell nah. You on your own. You want to start that shit up in here? You start it on your own. Just stay off of my turf. You don't even get to share the big yard with me. You want some different timing, homie? I can't condone that." And now, Wilbur like, all right, man. It is what it is, man. I ain't mean no disrespect. I thought y'all got down the same way I did, but apparently not. So just excuse my actions. But just remember, I do keep it gangster. Now, they let things go on the way it was, and they slid off their separate ways. Now, let's fast forward to last lockdown. Wilbur never found a boy. He never found the boy because he never got that far. The altercation with the Bloods took too long. He would have had to get over the C-Pod. Somebody would have had to told him how to get there. And he's just too new for that. He would have probably got locked up trying to make the move. You can't move through prison unless you know how to move through prison. Now, last lockdown, Wilbur is locked in with Adam. Adam's up on the top bunk, mad as hell he can't watch his nighttime TV shows. Wilbur hardly even watch the TV. He just have it on. He like to have it on to see the light. He ain't even hardly watching the shit. Now, this lockdown was going to be a different lockdown, y'all. Wilbur, he got off that bottom bunk and he told Adam, hey, listen. Hey, look, my bad, yo. I was thinking about all this shit that I've been doing. You know what I mean? I should have never took your bunk and your TV. I apologize. Go ahead, man. You can have your bunk and your TV back. I'm going to hop up top. And Adam looking at him like, you for real? He's like, come on, man, before I change my mind, man. Come on. And Adam like, all right. And he dropped the book. He climbed down the ladder. And he moved the covers. And he jumped in that bottom bunk, y'all. So he started looking at the TV. He started adjusting it. Not being aware, not noticing that, well, Wilbur has gotten well adjusted. And he's already hung up a white sheet right across the front of the cell. Adam has no clue. Wilbur jumps down in that bunk. It says, yeah, you can have the bunk back, but you got to share with me. And Adam's trying to squirm and get away. This man is putting all 250 pounds of his weight on Adam. On Adam's 125 pounds. And he told him, it's only going to be worse if you squirm. This is what my set do. I don't know about these punks over here up north, but this is what my set do. My boy Mark taught me to get it how I get it. Whether it's given or I take it. Shout out to Mark. And I'm not going to describe the unthinkable all over YouTube. I know y'all want me to, but I'm not going to get into detail and describe how he destroyed this man. How this man ended up needing stitches when he was done. And he scared him to the point he wouldn't even open his mouth and say what happened. Everybody know what happened. They tried to lock Wilbur up, waiting for dude to give him up, and he would not tell. So what they do, y'all, in the prison run a cold game, y'all. Not only did they let Wilbur out of lockup back into that same cell, they brought the white boy Adam right back into that cell as well. And well, I'm not sure how long Wilbur stayed in the pod with the actions that he was doing, but let's just say Adam had a pretty bad bid for at least a couple of months. I don't know if Adam ever recovered from that encounter with Wilbur. Listen, if you like stories like this, like, share, subscribe. Get in the comment box, y'all. I need to know where y'all coming from. I need to know what y'all think about that. Alright, y'all. With that, this is the Prison Talk Show. I am your boy Jersey Street Corner, and I'm out.